Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, please don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to make this beautiful halter neck dress. Okay, so I'm using 2.5 yards of Ankara fabric. I have folded it into two. I'm cutting the back and the front together, then I'm folding it again like this A-line, just the way you are seeing it on the table. Okay, so I'm trying to get my shoulder measurement. Just place your tape on where your shoulder measurement can be, then you roll it, roll the line across. My shoulder measurement is 8.5, which is 16 inches divided by 2, which will give you 8 plus half inches. Then from that shoulder measurement, you go down by 10 inches, which will serve as your bust point measurement. Then you take it in the other side to avoid bent lines. So I will mark 10 inches again at the other side and roll it across to the other side. Then from that 10 inches, I'm coming up by 2 inches, which will serve as my chest line measurement. Now, it totally depends on you. I'm coming up by 2 inches. I won't get my chest line measurement. If you are on a really smaller size, you can use 2.5 inches. Okay. Then from there, I'm taking the neck measurement, which is 2.5 inches. I'm going to cross check with 2.5. For the back, I'm taking 1 inch. For the front, I'm taking 2.5 inch. Why? I'm supposed to take 3 inches for the neck width and depth for the front, but just because after cutting you join, that's why I did 2.5 inches each. Then for the back, instead of the depth should be 1.5, then I did 1 inch, so that after sewing I will get to the 1.5 inch. Now from that 2.5 inches neck width, you connect your armhole to the 8 inches, the 2 inches you earlier measured from the 10 inches bust point, which is the chest line. From 2.5 inches neck width to the 8 inches, the 2 inches you took from your bust point measurement earlier to create the armhole measurement. Mind you, this is an halter neck. Then you mark on that chest line, you mark your bust measurement plus 1 inch sewing allowance. After that, you take your full body measurement. For the fact that there's pleating at the down of the dress, my full length of the short dress is 40 inches, so I'm going to be marking 32 inches, just the way you see me do. I'll be marking 32 inches, so that after sewing, joining, my pleating will be 10 inches. So the extra 2 inches will be for the joining and the folding of the down part. It will be for the joining of the down part. Okay, I'll go ahead to mark. If you notice, the upper part of the fabric is not reaching the full length that I want. Now I'm going to take 1 inch from the center front for the back zip allowance. As you see me do, I'm taking 1 inch to create the zipper allowance. Okay, you know it's a halter neck dress and you need zip at the back. Now I'm going to go ahead to cut out a piece of fabric to add to the front pattern of the dress, to be able to reach the back length, to be able to get my 32 inches. So for this, my fabric, the front and back is looking the same, so I had to chalk it to be able to know the front from the back. Now going ahead, I'll drop that aside. Going ahead, I'm going to measure 10 inches for the lower part of the dress. For the gathers, you can do it gathers, you can do it pleating, but for beginners, I will advise you to do gathers. I will take, just because I'm not having a lot of material, I have to cut and join. So I'll take 10 inches times 2 of my round flea. Okay, times 2 of my down part. That's what I'm cutting out. Okay, so after cutting, After cutting, I realized that the 2.5 depth neck depth I used, it would be too tight for me, so I had to go down by, for the front neck depth I have to go down by half to make it 3. Then for the back neck depth I have to go down by half still to make it 1.5. So when I sew, it will be able to contain my neck. Okay, so I'm going to cut that out. Just follow the way I'm doing it. I'm going to cut it out. Me, I'm on a big side, so that's why I'm using 2.5 width and 3 inches depth. Okay, so after that I'm going to start joining my dress. The first thing first is to join my zipper allowance to hold it down. Then I'm going to go ahead to turn the armhole of the dress, the front and back, the armhole. After turning the armhole of the dress, I'm going to mark the length of my collar will be 3.5, while the round neck of my collar will be 20 inches. Okay, I'm using 3.5 because I don't want it to be too big and I don't want it to be too small. 3.5. After joining, I'll still be having almost 1.5 inches, so that's okay for me. It totally depends on you what you want. So I'll go ahead to mark it down and use my ruler to mark it across, just the way you see me do. You can use any fabric of your choice. This is a fabric that I've used before. I'm using it again just for the sake of this tutorial. So I'm going to cut that out. Then after cutting it out, I went ahead to notch the center of my front neckline, the center of my dress neckline. Then I will notch the collar, the center of the collar. Then I'll just pin it across. Just do it the way you see me do. I'll pin it across to be able to sew it very well and to make sure the dress or the collar is a bit stretchy. The fabric is a bit stretchy, so I don't want shaking up and down, so I have to pin it down to be able to give me what I want. Okay, so after doing the front part of it, then you take your back of your dress, then place it 1/4 inch from the front, the ending of the front. I don't know if you understand me, but please just try and do it the way I'm doing it, like this. Place it 1/4 inch after the end of the front, the side, that's the shoulder side of the front fabric. And this is what I have. After pinning it down, I'll go ahead to join it. After joining, this is what I have. So I'm going to turn it over to the other side and fold in half inch inside to close the sewing. Just like the way you see me do. Please just follow me the way I'm doing it. I'm going to pin it down. Please, whenever you are doing something like this, just try and pin it down, okay? To avoid story that touches. I like pinning to be able to do my thing once and for all, okay? So I'm just going ahead to pin it down and take it to the sewing machine. So now this is what we have after joining it to the other side. It's looking lovely. Please, if you have watched to this extent, please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Please, I'm begging you. So going ahead, we'll go ahead to join the sides. I'm going to be using 1 inch sewing allowance to join the sides of the dress. After joining the side, this is what we have. Then I'm going to work on the pleating. For this tutorial, for this dress, I'm going to be pleating my down part to the upper part of the dress. and I've gone ahead to turn the down part. So if you don't have enough fabric, please just try and do gathers, or if you can manage your fabric, you can still do pleating. Okay, so you just go ahead to pleat. Me, I prefer pleating it with my office pin on the dress. After pleating, I can go to the sewing machine to sew it down. That's what works for me. So it depends on what works for you too. Okay, and that's how we pleat it down. After pleating, voila, this is what